On this week's show, Peloton wins a lawsuit over the Bike Plus trademark and updates on Tread Plus shipping times.
Plus, a Nicki Minaj artist series, a Power Zone training program in German, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 166 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm John Pruitt. I'm joined by my co-host Amanda Siegel and Chris Lewis this week. Hey, y'all.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good to see ya.
Good morning.
We got our threesome back this week.
We got our awesome threesome. Yeah, Chris is making sure we stay in line this week.
Hey,
everybody good?
I wasn't here last week and it all went smoothly, smooth, all good stuff.
No slip-ups.
It did. Other than, I don't know, my opening last week, I don't remember said the word
you saying
like
anything,
weirdly,
so it's
and
all
I'm
good.
like, oh my goodness, what was that? When you hear it back. Yeah, you didn't hear it?
No.
I heard it. Well, it's good to have us three back. We have lots to chat about this week. There is quite a bit that has been going on in the Peloton world. So I guess we will shoot right out of the gate. As always, before we get started with the news, we do like to remind you how you can stay up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
And of course, you can always just listen to us if you want to hear the audio. If you're on the go, we're on all podcast platforms. Just find us there under Pelo Buddy TV.
Yeah. And finally, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. I need to remember that. TikTok, just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And
how's
if
that
you
TikTok,
choose to...
how's that Pelo Buddy TikTok channel, Chris Lewis?
It's a
little
little
much activity there.
It's a little quiet. Need to get back into it. When I get a little free time, I'll focus on it a little bit more.
Froze up. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
just
free
checking.
time. What's that? And don't forget, folks, that if you choose to subscribe, you can get to see the website ad-free for just $5. So don't forget that you can head over to Pelo Buddy and take up some kind of subscription if you choose to, so that you would be ad-free. The show will still come to you ad-free, irrespective of whether you subscribe to us or not, but just like to throw that in as a reminder. And I guess, guys, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. So first up, Peloton has won a lawsuit over a trademark related to their Peloton Bike Plus name. So taking us back, we got to turn the Wayback Machine a few years now. So in May of 2021, a lawsuit was filed against Peloton by a company called World Champ Tech, LLC, which claimed that Peloton was infringing on a trademark that the company owned for the Bike Plus name. So World Champ Tech had created this iPhone app called Bike Plus, which was designed to allow users to detect, record, to store, to analyze, and share data from their indoor-outdoor cycling sessions. So as part of their app release, they also filed this trademark for the name Bike Plus. So as part of this ongoing lawsuit, both companies had filed for a summary judgment in the case. Just this past week, the judge granted Peloton's summary judgment, effectively ending the lawsuit in Peloton's favor, pending any appeals. But in the ruling, the judge determined there is, quote unquote, no likelihood of confusion between the Peloton Bike Plus and the app Bike Plus, leading to the ruling. So the court granted in the defendant's motion for summary judgment, Peloton being the defendant in this case. The judge noted that while both parties found experts to indicate whether consumers might be confused by the similar trademarks, no evidence had been submitted from either side providing proof of confusion in real life. So this company, World Tech Champ, they didn't actually submit anything from people saying like, oh, I thought it was the Peloton Bike Plus, app. So there was nothing like that submitted. So during the course of the hearing, it came to light that while Peloton's marketing team and executives involved in the naming of the Peloton Bike Plus, they did not seem to be aware of World Champ Tech's Bike Plus trademark. Peloton's in-house legal team had discovered the conflict prior to the Bike Plus launching in September of 2020. However, they reached out to some outside counsel for an opinion on the matter and seemed to think there would really be no conflict. It would really be a non-issue. So in a deposition with Peloton's co-founder and former chief product officer, Tom Cortese, Peloton stated it was not alone in trying to denote their premium products by appending a plus symbol at the end of it, which we know is very common on apps and products. The defendant, quote unquote, the defendant chose to append a plus to the bike because it is a simple term that consumers understand to signify a product line extension and added features, in this case with the Bike Plus. So like numerous leading brands such as Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus have already adopted the plus for their line expansions. So the plus sign can easily be implemented across product lines in various types of products for a better/best product array. So another section of that ruling notes that the trademark is in fact weakened because when World Tech Champ originally filed their trademark, there have been numerous similarly named apps in the App Store at the time, with that plus denotation. So this combined with the fact that the update release for World Tech Champ's bike app in 2021 didn't really have many sales. It wasn't like, I don't think anybody's heard of this company. And few marketing efforts were even made by the company, led the court to rule in Peloton's favor. So it's not like they were breaking and setting the world on fire with this company. So I'm sure they were just, looking for
a way to make some money. Of course.
Judge ended the ruling in the statement, in sum, under these circumstances, confusion is possible, but not probable. So another win.
We haven't reported on a lawsuit for a while, so this is a good one, though. I mean, I guess
I'm not a lawyer or anything, but like that's just it just sounded so silly that they would like with the plus. It's just Peloton's just this lightning rod for anyone to come after them to get something, hopefully.
They did.
Great.
In the lawsuit, they did go through and the judge kind of talked about how there were 8 different factors that they had looked at. And it came out actually even, where 4 of them were in favor of Peloton and 4 of them were in favor of World Champ Tech. But some of those factors kind of weighed more than others. And they said it was very close, but they talked about how the factors required flexibility. So it seems like, depending on what judge it got in, it could have gone another way. So it was actually a little closer than it seemed reading through the ruling, but it came out in Peloton's favor in the end.
I bet that judge has a Peloton Plus at home and he didn't want to see anything happen.
If not, maybe he does now.
Right, exactly. Suddenly he had one arrive at his door, That's too funny. All right. Well, moving on, it looks like those folks that pre-ordered their Peloton Tread Plus are finally getting notified that it's time for delivery. So they have been receiving emails that have been sent to members. The email states that that emails will be sent to schedule delivery on a rolling basis based on both the date of the pre-order and the available inventory that they have in that specific area that the member lives in. So they said that they expect to complete deliveries based on the following schedule. If you pre-ordered December 1st to the 15th, you will get an email this past week with delivery ranging from March 11th to March 24th. If you pre-ordered December 16th to the 31st, then delivery will be, you'll get an email next week, and the date ranges were March 25th to April 7th. For those folks that had pre-ordered January 1st to 15th, they will be looking at dates between April 8th and the 21st. And then those folks that pre-ordered January 16th through today would need to look out for an email of March 18th with delivery dates from April 22nd to May 6th. When the delivery is ready to be scheduled, folks will need to ensure that they have clicked on the link and make sure that that schedule is in fact appropriate for them, and do that as quickly as possible because, obviously they'll fill up pretty quickly. So definitely be on the lookout for this invite if you have pre-ordered your Tread Plus. And I am already starting to see folks with delivery and very excited. So
yes.
Yeah.
I know my friend L, who's She's So L on Instagram, she forwarded me to give to Chris her one of her recent emails from Peloton about scheduling the delivery, and she had ordered it on the very first day. I guess they started accepting. So she's in the Alabama area, and she finally got a March 11th delivery date that she shared on social media recently.
But there are actually some folks that have already got it. I mean, I know that Jenny in Atlanta, Jenny from the A, she got hers this week. Melissa Chin in Long Island got hers this week. So, yeah. Yeah,
I know Georgia had kind of been towards the second, like it wasn't one of the first ones. I think New York was some of the ones who got first. And they had originally emailed about this in January, kind of saying, we hope to get all deliveries done by April. So the email this week was kind of providing a more narrow guidance, because before it was just like, you might be sometime between April. And now they're just saying, based on when you ordered, you can expect it in these 2 week periods, because they've been getting a lot of questions about this. So this was just their attempt to be like, we're coming and, wait until this window. So this is when we should email you to do that scheduling.
What I haven't heard word one about is from anyone about scheduling the service appointment to install that rear guard. I haven't heard from anyone that's got that scheduled.
Tammy over on the Connected Fitness forum had hers installed, and she said it was probably about 20 minutes or an hour, and it involves taking off a side piece to run the wire. But some people in New York have had it, but those are not seem to be going out quite as quickly as the new installs, but I think they're doing them kind of in tandem. But those have started going out slowly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I got to say, I forgot how massive it is. When I was in the showroom on Tuesday, I got to see one, and obviously I had one, but I've forgotten, just how massive, and that screen is huge. I mean, it really is big. And yeah, I'm definitely having FOMO.
You miss your
I
Tread
do
Plus.
miss my Tread Plus. I do.
You're gonna miss it even more when they put them back in PSNY in the studio.
Yeah, you think they're going to do it? You think they're going to do it?
I would hope so.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would hope so.
Anyway, well, it is what it is. I have it. I'm not switching. It's definitely not spending that much on a treadmill. And missed that window of opportunity to get it at discount. But yeah, I'm happy with mine for what I do on the tread. It's sufficient. I'm just going to be pissed when I'm on there and folks are at their 15% incline and I can only get to 12.5. So,
or when free mode comes back.
Yeah, well, that too. Well, I didn't, and I've never used free mode, so that part didn't bother me. But
that's a Jeff Sims' favorite for Saturday 60s. Yeah, she would use free mode a lot. Yep.
All right. And then, this one is a good one. Peloton have shared, and thanks to our Chris Lewis, we get to share with you the studio closure dates for pretty much all of 2024. So, in the past, Peloton would kind of just let us know maybe 2 weeks before, or 6 weeks because of, 5 to 6 weeks because of, the schedule being released for folks to book, but you really didn't have an idea as to the whole year of what was going to happen as far as closures go. And that would be pretty much when there would be no live classes. So, stuff would still drop on demand and premiere, etc., but that there would be no no live classes. So the advance notice is definitely, welcome for those members that have or are looking to plan ahead to either go up to, New York City or to London to take classes, and would have to travel. So it's very much appreciated. So Peloton shared that the closures are planned for regular maintenance and to provide time off for employees. And a lot of folks, you'll see comments being made, well, don't the instructors get enough time off? And they always seem to be out of there. But, folks have to remember it's not just the instructors. There's, production staff, there's, studio staff. There are so many different moving parts within the studio for folks to be able to get time off. So these are the dates that have been provided. You hear it here first at Pelo Buddy. With this past week having been the first of the closures. So we had February 19th to the 21st. The studio was closed, with the London studio being closed a little bit longer until today, the 25th. The next closure will be in spring, with the dates being April 15th to 21st. They will both, so that's for both London and New York. They will both be closed in observance for Memorial Day. And that's just one day on April the 27th. Then again, the annual Pause and Reflect, which coincides with the Juneteenth holiday on June 19th. An additional Pause and Reflect will be in conjunction with the July 4th holiday, with the closure being July 4th, which happens to be on a Thursday this year, through the 7th. The summer studio closure will be around the Labor Day holiday, with it being closed August 26th through September the 2nd. PSL, though, will reopen on the September the 1st. So they will, in fact, be one day earlier than PSNY. And then the end of year holiday studio closure, the Christmas and New Year time period, will fall from December the 23rd until January the 1st of 2025. In addition, there will be some additional London studio closures. They will be closed for the Easter bank holiday, with no classes on Friday, March 29th or Monday, the 1st of April. But there will be classes on Thursday and Saturday and Sunday of that weekend. So the Saturday is actually the German London calling day. So that will be for folks coming in, for the German classes. That's on the Saturday. And then there will be regular classes on the Sunday, but that Monday, there won't be any classes. Then again, for the early May bank holiday on May the 6th, the London studio will be closed. I did want to kind of go back to that April closure, the closure that will be, I think, from the 17th to the 20th, because it's London Marathon. Yep. So I did want to just reiterate that they will be closed. I know that there are tons of folks that were planning on being in London for the marathon and would have loved to have gotten into the studio. I already know of 2 friends that have just changed plans because they kind of said, I was going to go and cheer on the marathon, but I really wanted to be there to go into the studio. And, what's the point if they're not going to be open? So, make a note of those. You can head over to pelobuddy.com. Chris has them all listed in the article there. So definitely, make a note of those so that you're not caught off guard if you are planning a trip. And remember, folks, that during these periods, Peloton, whilst they won't be offering live classes, they, are tons of course, your on-demand classes. And what they've also been doing is dropping tons of premieres. So those are classes that have never been seen before, brand new classes that were pre-recorded, but are first-time classes dropping on the platform. So you can certainly get to see those. And then, of course, also new content that gets released directly to the, on-demand library. Peloton does advise members, though, to double check these dates with the studio teams before making travel plans, as they are all subject to change.
Yeah, I mean, they put these out pretty far ahead of time, so hopefully these won't change. But there's always a chance for additions or who knows what happens. So again, if you're planning a big if you're not local, it's always good to just double check and make sure.
You never know when Oprah Winfrey's coming into the studio and the whole schedule gets switched around.
So someone's still
prepared for that.
Someone's still salty.
Still salty. All right.
Well, we had the latest artist series go down this past Thursday, which was Nicki Minaj. All the classes happened on this past Thursday, the 22nd. We got 6 classes across 4 different modalities, including 2 in German. A couple of them were live. The rest were premiered. But we got, of all of them, we got a 20-minute full body strength with Jermaine. We had a 30-minute run with Marcel, which was in German. A 10-minute arms and shoulders strength with Asal, that was in German. And a 30-minute ride with Ali, which had members in the studio on Thursday night, all dressed in pink, per the instructions that they received for that class ahead of time. There was also a live run with Jess Sims that evening as well, a 30-minute run, 20-minute Nicki Minaj row with Adrian. That dropped as a premiere on Thursday evening. But this is actually the second Nicki Minaj artist series. We got one with her back in December of 2020, which all those classes are still available in the on-demand library. Ali and Jess also taught Nicki Minaj classes back in that 2020 series, which they did again at this one as well. But yeah, we had gotten kind of a heads up about this one a while back when Chris noticed on the booking site that it was revealed there for those classes with members in it. But yeah, we've already had, so far, we've had Timbaland, we've had Green Day, and then, yeah, we can also expect some classes next week for Fatboy Slim for an artist series with that person, with Fatboy Slim.
Yeah, and next Thursday we should know the list of artist series for March as well. So if you head over to our website or social media this Thursday, we'll be sure to post a list of the artist series that we have to look forward to in March as well.
And then we also just got a new ride series, of which the first one debuted a week ago last Saturday with Robin Arzon. It's called Your Day One. Peloton had shared the news on their Instagram page, and they said, why wait until next Monday or next year? Go after your goals with Robin's new series, Your Day One. This ride is for all members who want to set and achieve their goals. They also included a little video from Robin that shares how she reestablishes a routine after some time away from fitness. Her tips include an accountability partner, scheduling workouts, workout clothes that make you feel good, finding your favorite pump up song. So we got the very first Your Day One ride. It took place this past Saturday, February 17th. I think it was a 45-minute one.
Yeah.
As well, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't make any indication if it was going to be a quarterly, a monthly.
It's a 4-part series.
Yeah, 4. Okay. So we'll wait and see when who knows when the next one will drop. It'll just be on the weekend, like this one was on Saturday afternoon.
All right. Well, during this past week of February the 19th to the 25th, Peloton did share what they were offering, their fresh content, despite the winter studio closure. First up, we had Tunde's premier 30-minute advanced bike bootcamp. So this was the first, am I right in saying that this was the first time that Tunde was doing a bike bootcamp?
No.
She has done them in the past?
No, this is just premiere in terms of pre-recorded.
Got it. I misunderstood that. I thought, because I don't ride often with her, so I wasn't sure if that was the first time she was actually doing a bike bootcamp. Okay. So that class dropped on February the 20th at noon Eastern. Next, are 2 new evening yoga flows with Anna Greenberg and Ross Rayburn. These classes are designed for winding down at the end of the day. Ross's was a 30-minute evening yoga flow, which became available on demand on February the 21st. It dropped at 4 p.m. that day, whilst Anna's 20-minute evening yoga flow took place live on February the 23rd at 5:30 p.m. I haven't done Anna's yet, but I actually did do Ross's late in the evening, and it was beautiful. It was really good. I really enjoyed it, actually. But I haven't done Anna's yet. There's also a new series of outdoor classes, both walks and runs, which were released on February the 22nd. These classes designed for the app feature Andy, Bex Gentry, Justin Thompson Rule, Maddie, Olivia, and Tobias Hines. And as John mentioned, Robin Arzon's Your Day One Ride series, which is a new ride series, is available on demand. Again, as John said, offering members a new motivational series to explore. Peloton, so those are kind of what we've been getting new. So they've been doing this pretty much each week, is giving you kind of an overview of what the week's going to look like and what you can kind of expect, so that it's easier for you to plan your workouts, and your schedule.
Yeah, I think they've been doing these about a year or so now, and we haven't always highlighted them, but we're just gonna, I think, put it into our regular news drop of highlighting what they're highlighting there. So.
And what they have, what happened in the week. Give you a recap of kind of what happened that past week, which is good. Awesome. And then Peloton has launched a German language version of its Discover Your Power Zones training program. So initially released in English back in 2021, this program is designed to introduce members to Power Zone training. It spans over 5 weeks and is led by instructors Erik Jaeger and Charlotte Wiedenbach. This programming, it always gives John a little chuckle when I say it correctly. This program aims to demystify the training by offering workouts tailored to individual fitness levels, ensuring fun and informative sessions. Participants can earn badges for completing a certain number of classes within a program. So for 9 classes, you'll get your bronze. For 13 classes, you'll get your silver. And then for completing 16 out of the total 18 classes, you will get your gold. The program is structured to progressively build understanding and fitness, starting with an introduction to Power Zone training and culminating in an FTP test to measure improvement. More details on the program, including a full list of classes and how to join. Members can visit the Peloton website or, of course, check Pelo Buddy for a comprehensive overview of these all these training programs.
And one thing,
this
just
is the
to
first
make
time it's coming out in
clear,
German.
some of the stuff they've been doing over recent months, they've been re-releasing old classes, but dubbed with a German-speaking voice. That is not the case here. They are brand new classes taught by Erik and Charlotte in German. So they're, true German classes taught by Erik and Charlotte. They're not a dubbing of the original program from 2021.
So that's interesting. So they had never been a Power Zone program in German before this?
Not yet. Erik started teaching a while ago as the first German instructor, and then it was a couple months ago that Charlotte joined. So now that they had 2 instructors, I guess they felt they had enough of a team that they could get this program out there. And, there's 3 programs in English. There's Discover, there's Build, and Peak Your Power Zones. So they haven't said anything, but you would imagine that down the road, they would probably also try to duplicate those other 2 programs down the road Makes as well sense. For the German community.
Nice.
Cool. Well, Peloton will host an in-person event at Peloton Studios, New York tomorrow, Monday, February 29th, in celebration of Black History Month. The event is called BHM at PSNY and will feature instructors Tunde and Adrian. They recently shared the news via the Peloton Studios Instagram stories. but there is an event website available with more information. It is sold out. So just a heads up, I checked when I was typing up the notes for this the other day. It was a ticketed event. Tickets were $50. It's taking place from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it's going to feature a fireside chat with Tunde and Adrian, a little DJ party with Max October. Interesting that DJ John Michael's not doing that one. Refreshments from local Black-owned businesses and a photo op with the instructors for attendees.
And just
if you are attending,
just to clarify, that is the 29th, but that is on Thursday, not tomorrow. So that's the 29th, which is this upcoming Thursday, just to clarify. If you have tickets. And
for some reason, I didn't even have Monday on there. I just, for some reason,
I good. Just wanted to clarify in case anyone was listening and they're like, oh, I thought that was Thursday.
The 29th. Yeah. Yes. So in a few days from when this episode, when you're listening to this episode, probably.
But it is sold out. So even if you wanted to go, you weren't able to.
Peloton's been releasing content all month in celebration of Black History Month. There was a virtual community event recently featuring Tunde, Jess Sims, and Kirsten back on February 15th. Obviously you can always check out pelobuddy.com. There's a whole Black History Month collection on the Peloton app, on the site for all the years dating back to 2020. There's also a BHM badge available for the current Black History Month classes that you can complete. And also we have a whole badge, comprehensive badge collection on pelobuddy.com on there if you're curious about all the current and past, present badges out there.
All right. And for those folks in London, PSL are hosting a special event as well for Women's History Month. That is on March the 10th. The event will feature Leanne Hainsby and Justin Thompson Rule and will celebrate the diversity and commonalities of womanhood through a fireside chat with a Q&A session. It starts at 10 a.m. with light refreshments. The event includes a panel discussion and concludes with a meet and greet photo opportunity. It's just an hour. It is from 10 till 11 on that Sunday morning. There is a fee for this particular event. It's £45. Tickets are still available. So I did check at time of recording, tickets were still available. So if you are interested in going along, you can. I don't know by the time this gets released on Sunday whether they will still be available, but at this point they are available. Folks are able to get as many as 2 tickets. So you can purchase 2 tickets per person per one email address, but the tickets are non-refundable and non-transferable. This event is part of Peloton's annual celebration of Women's History Month, which includes special content and classes. Peloton has also hosted several special events and meet and greets throughout the year. And we always like to share them with you here on the show so that you are aware of what is out there.
Nice. Well, the NBA All-Star Game, which took place last weekend, over the weekend of February 16th through the 18th in Indianapolis, Indiana, Peloton was involved with that. So earlier this year, Peloton had a contest for one person to win a Bike Plus, as well as tickets to the NBA All-Star Game. However, Peloton's partnership was going even further than that this past weekend. So as part of the whole All-Star celebration, there was an NBA crossover event. It was described as a multi-day interactive fan event that brings basketball culture to the forefront, featuring more than 350,000 square feet of basketball and interactive experiences, player appearances, live performances, some unique activations focused on art, music, fashion, technology, and entertainment. And at that little crossover event, Peloton created an experience for fans called HIIT That Shot. And it consists of 5 different stations where you pair a short amount of exercise with a basketball shot. So Peloton instructors, Rad Lopez, Tunde, Kirsten Ferguson. They were all there for different activations as part of that All-Star Weekend event. And all of them spent at least a little bit of time interacting with fans at the HIIT That Shot event. A local Channel 13 news anchor, Anne-Marie Tiernan, shared a video and report of the Peloton event. Rad, Tunde, as well as basketball star Bill Walton all participated in the demo for the news station. And Peloton recently, this past week on social media, shared some clips of Bill Walton kind of almost giving acting like a Peloton instructor, giving like a tutorial, which is pretty funny. And also another video with him and Tunde. Bill Walton's a massive Grateful Dead, fan. He always loves to throw out musical references by the band there. So it was kind of funny seeing him mention Grateful Dead, getting Tunde into their music. But yeah, the stations. So first, there's a station called the Ride Away 3 station, where you begin by riding a Peloton Bike Plus for 20 seconds, followed by taking a 3-point shot. And then the second station is floor throw. And here at this one, you do 10 sit-ups, followed by taking a shot at a very short hoop from the floor. Third station was called box jumper, which consists of 10 box jumps, ending with a jump shot from inside the free throw line. And then the next station after that's the bicep beater, where you have to do 10 bicep curls with Peloton weights, and then try to make a shot on an extra high basket. And then the event ends with the run the break station, which is a 20-second run on a Peloton Tread Plus, and then taking a free throw. So you receive this overall score from the event, and then you're placed on a leaderboard where you can win prizes for having the highest scores. So last year, I guess Peloton had announced this ongoing partnership with the NBA and the WNBA, which was announced last October. And then this was obviously followed by the launch of the NBA League Pass on Peloton Entertainment. So it's just part of this growing collaboration that they've created. Yep. And as we see, from this recent activation, I'm sure we'll see some more collaborations between Peloton and NBA in the future.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They didn't really tease this activation ahead of time. Like they said they were sending someone, but they didn't tease they were going to have like this fan expo thing until it just kind of happened. So I thought it was interesting that the weekend's here, we're doing this, and 3 of our instructors are here, and all the fans can go through it. So I thought it was a interesting in-person activation they did.
Interesting. All right. Well, they are running a President's Day sale right through till February the 29th. So it is still on, offering significant discounts on various products, including the Peloton Guide Starter Package, the Bike Plus, and the bike. Initially, which is kind of crazy, this whole thing. Initially, the Peloton Guide Starter Package, as we all know, was offered at $300. It was discounted for $135. But due to some unclear reasons, the price was adjusted back up to $235. Still providing a discount, but those, I think that must have been a typo that they must have had initially, and maybe they suddenly realized, oh my goodness, this was a mistake, and then pushed it back up. There were folks that got it for $135 though, so
not the first time that's happened.
Honor. I know it isn't the first time, so they did honor it though. The sale includes, as we said, a deep discount on the Peloton Starter Package. It includes the Peloton Guide and 2 pairs of weights, a workout mat, and a water bottle. And, I was looking at some of the comments on the Pelo Buddy Instagram page, and folks were like, I got my 20-pound and 30-pound weights to make sure that, I got my value for for money. And, it does kind of make me cringe and laugh, because that was the stupidity that I did when I got my row, which, enabled me to herniate 2 discs in my neck, because I'd never lifted a 30-pound weight in my life. And, my husband was like, what the hell are you ordering 30-pound weights for? You're never going to use those. And he's right. So for all of you guys, wait, were you going to say something, Chris?
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, looking at the way that package was originally set up, when it was $135 for the guide and 2 weights, if you just go to Peloton's website and try to buy the 30-pound weights, the 30-pound weights by themselves are $155. The 25-pound weights by themselves are $135. So, it was a massive deal compared to what it normally is.
Correct. And I mean, that was kind of my thought process when I got the row. It was, okay, I might as well go for the most expensive weights, because I won't pay for them. I wasn't going to pay for them on my own. Needless to say, I've never picked them up again after I herniated 2 discs in my neck. But they're there.
Yeah, and looking at it, if you had really wanted the guide, you could in theory sell those weights and make the money for your guide, or vice versa.
True.
If you didn't want the guide, you could sell the guide at a discount and offset some of the cost of your weights, which are already getting in a massive discount too.
Yeah, you're still making out like a bandit.
No, it was, was clever, The Peloton also had discounts on as I said, the Peloton Bike and the Bike Plus package, with savings up to about $600 off. There were no discounts on the Tread or Tread Plus, or of course the Row, as part of the sale. Peloton's President's Day sale also extends to refurbished Bike and Bike Plus models, offering additional savings. So if folks were looking at that as a possibility and not buying a brand new one, they had that option. Customers who purchased a Peloton Bike, Bike Plus, or Guide in the last 30 days are encouraged to contact customer support for potential price matching. So this sale reflects Peloton's increased frequency of promotions in recent years. So we're definitely seeing far more of the hardware going on sale, not just your, Black Friday, Thanksgiving sales, or your Christmas special sales. We're definitely seeing more of those, and, opportunities for folks to save.
Back in the day, it was only Black Friday ever. It was Black Friday accessory package, maybe free shipping, and that was it. And now it's, New Year's, President's Day, 4th of July sale, Memorial Day sale. So they've increased like you were saying, they've increased the sales more in recent years.
Significantly. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, we have a new spring apparel drop. In case you didn't notice, it's called the Spring Edit. And there's about 14 different pieces I perused through the apparel site the other day. We got some bra tops, some tanks, some different leggings in different colors and styles. There's a Strive men's tee, some men's training shorts, and even a set of hair scrunchies in there for you scrunchie fans. There is a new Dream Blend piece, a Dream Blend men's muscle tank, which I won't get. But
I was just going to ask you, John. I mean, you've been saving your. I
can't pull off a tank top, please. No,
got to do more strength, baby.
not with these arms. There's some long sleeve crew necks in there as well in different colors. So yeah, check it out.
All right. And then very frustratingly, Peloton experienced another outage. This one was on February the 21st. It was just a short-lived one. It was only about 15 minutes. It started around 1 p.m., but it affected all class types across the app, website, and some hardware devices. Users that were attempting to access classes encountered a message stating there is a problem loading this class. The issue, as I said, which only lasted about 15 minutes, did prevent members from joining classes. But if you had already been in a class, you were safe. So you weren't kicked out. It was just for folks that were actually trying to get into a class. They did acknowledge the outage on their outage
Status
page.
Yeah.
Attributing the issues, to issues with the class details page. They said that they were having an issue with that. They announced that the problem had been resolved by 116 with ongoing monitoring to ensure stability. Members did report that functionality was restored within 15 minutes, and they were able to then go on to other classes. So that was on the 21st. And then just to add, we had spoken about it last week, that Cadence bug regarding the cadence sensor on the iPad or iPhone, which had been an issue for members. It was reported as fixed on Wednesday, the 21st, around 5 p.m. So that doesn't seem to be an issue any longer.
And just make sure to update
this
is
for folks with non-Peloton bikes.
Yeah, this is for the Peloton iOS app only.
Correct.
And just make sure to update your Peloton app to get the latest version, because it's included in an app update. So update your app for that.
Great. Awesome.
Class Purge update. Thank you so much, Amanda, for assigning this one to me.
Welcome.
Should give Chris this one because he loves to report on this stuff. So Peloton purged another 2 days worth of classes most recently. On February 16th, they removed a portion of classes from the library that were originally filmed between December 13th and 14th of 2020. So around 25 classes were removed as a result of this. So in addition, Peloton went back this week and removed most of the classes filmed on December 10th of 2020. As we shared last week, that single day had been spared from purges, but it looks like they got back to it.
They fixed the glitch.
And fixed the glitch, yeah. So while 25 classes were removed, a number were spared and remain from those 2 days. These include some Year of Yes classes, some Fit Family classes, a Movie Buff Holiday Special Ride, which I'm sure was with Kendall, and a cover-to-cover ride, and some holiday classes as well. So a number of seemingly kind of random other classes from December 14th were spared, more than normal, than you would be expect based on all the past purges. So there is your weekly purge update. Thank you.
You're welcome. And and some birthdays. We had some birthdays this past week. The lovely Ross Rayburn celebrated his birthday on President's Day this past Monday, February the 19th. And then yesterday was DJ John Michael's birthday. So a very happy birthday to them both. And then I guess we are going to go right into Instructor in the News. And I will kick it off with Bex Gentry. So very sneakily, she didn't share this until just recently, but she is set to participate in the 2024 Tokyo Marathon, aiming to complete her 6th star by finishing all 6 major marathons. So that's Tokyo, Boston, London, Berlin, Chicago, and New York.
I was wondering what it was behind that, because I thought Tokyo, is there? It's such a random. I said, is there a Formula One event there that she's like wanting to attend while she's there?
No. So that it is to get her 6th star. So, huge congrats to her. She did acknowledge, though, that her training hasn't been perfect, but that she's looking forward to really just racing without the pressure of achieving a high performance level. Her partner, Austin, will be running as well. So I guess, I don't know if he's going for a time or not. But this will be, this marathon will mark her first since completing the Olympic trials in 2021 and since becoming a mom in 2022. She said that her approach to the Tokyo Marathon is focused on enjoying the experience and appreciating the opportunity, reflecting a balanced perspective on work, motherhood, and personal goals. The marathon is scheduled for this coming Sunday, the 2nd of March. And our good friend Jen Lipman was actually in the studio on Friday morning. She ran with Bex on her 7 a.m., her last run before she heads off. And I chatted to her before we hit record, and she was saying that Bex spoke about it a lot in the run, and just saying how she was having a really hard time leaving Tallulah. It was the first time that she's leaving her. Obviously, Tokyo was just too far to take her, on this trip. But her in-laws were coming in, or her parents were coming in to watch her. And Jen had said to her that she gave up going to a friend's wedding in Tokyo, and her firstborn was 10 months old, and she regretted it forever. So she said to Bex, just go, do it, have fun, spend some time with with Austin, and just enjoy it, but you won't regret going. So I think she's only going for about 7 or 8 days. I mean, she's really not going for a long time. So probably enough time to get over some of the jet lag, run, and then turning around and coming back. So we'll talk about it next week. Wish those luck that are doing it. But we did want to share that for those of you that adore Bex and follow her, that this is what she will be doing.
Yeah, just to clarify one small thing. She has mentioned it in some classes as far back as last June or so, but she just hasn't made a big deal about it on social media. And just in more recent classes, she's been talking about it a little bit more. But yeah, it's next week. So figured it was worth a mention.
Definitely. You see, John, this is why we need Chris, because he just keeps us in check with those little bits of details that we neglect to share. Thank you, Chris. Fact checker. I love it.
Well, shifting over to Logan Aldridge, he was recently, last weekend on Saturday the 17th, he was a guest speaker at a Fit Expo event at East Carolina University. They hosted the 2024 Southeast Collegiate Fitness Expo, and it's described as an event to encourage attendees to discover new opportunities, to impact the campus and communities, and explore many ways to create a world-class experience and to live your authentic self. So he was billed as a main stage speaker at the event. It says, join Logan Aldridge, a beacon of resilience and adaptability, as he shares his transformative journey from a life-altering accident to becoming an acclaimed adaptive athlete and Peloton's adaptive training specialist. I didn't happen to catch, I don't recall seeing, I don't know if you saw anything, Chris Lewis, from the event posted by Logan. Logan
posted a video or picture on his story. So in addition to doing the panel, I'm not sure if it was part of his panel or something totally separate, but he was also leading like a quick workout as well. So there were some people working out with Logan as well.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was kind of like geared to fitness professionals or maybe owners of studios that want to get into the adaptive space or offer some sort of like adaptive training. And Logan kind of would go through sort of, like the lingo that you'd want to use possibly, and kind of the modifications that an adaptive athlete might have to make in some of those different workouts at those various studios that they offer.
Yeah. Yeah, so we spoke about this a couple weeks ago, but on Monday the 19th, Hoda Kobe and Jenna Hager from the Today with Hoda
Kobe.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Hoda Kotb.
Kotb. Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. Thank you,
Put
John.
Put some respect on Hoda's name.
Kotb, I know. Well, anyway, from the Today with Hoda and Jenna show, together with contributor and one of Peloton faves, Ali Love, shared a very fun 5-minute segment of the behind the scenes of Hoda and Jenna. So we had mentioned, that Hoda and Jenna had been in studio with Ali a couple weeks ago. And on the 19th, they shared kind of the behind the scenes. And Ali was, up sitting with them, chatting about it. And I have to say, it was such a cool video. If you guys haven't watched it, definitely head over to Pelo Buddy to see it. But Ali walked us through her daily routine, but specifically of that Monday. So, that the ladies were in the studio. So she showed us backstage, getting ready, from arriving in the morning, getting ready, her prep for the class, camera then switched to the ladies walking into the studio and showing us their behind the scenes of getting that very special treatment in being taken backstage before the class. But I did love that they came in through the front door. There was no pomp and circumstance. They were mingling, with the members that were waiting to get into the class. They picked up their shoes, from the area where
they just did that for the video.
Get their shoes.
They went through the VIP entrance and all that.
No, they didn't. It was very cute. They both said, they both just said that they had so much fun. They did reiterate numerous times, though, how hard it is to get into classes. So they did acknowledge that they were very privileged to have been. Well,
does their show stop recording in time for them to get into the queue, or no? Like, do they have to not record that day to get in? No, I'm kidding.
No, they did say how privileged they were.
And their assistants for.
No. They did say how privileged they were, that they were invited guests by Ali, so they had that silver card. But it was actually, I appreciated, though, that they acknowledged that for folks, because Ali kept on saying, you got to come to, and Jenna kept on saying, but it's really hard to get in. And Ali kind of never acknowledged her saying that. Yeah. Somehow the instructors just don't like to acknowledge that it is so damn hard to get into classes. But
just
anyway,
put them on a guest list.
Exactly. But it was, it was really fun to just, see how lovely they were and how appreciative they were for, having been in the class. Ali commented on how she loved seeing her two worlds colliding, getting her today family in. And it was actually not just for the record, it was not just Hoda and Jenna that were in the class. There were actually some studio folks. I think there were about 10 of them in total that got to be in the studio. So it wasn't just, there were regular members in the class as well. They didn't take over the entire studio, but just a very different experience to when Miss Oprah Winfrey did come into the studio. They were, they just enjoyed being one of the crowd. Andrew, Ali's husband, was in the class as well, and he sat next to Hoda on the bike, for those of you that have done the class. And they said they go back to doing it over and over again because they love seeing themselves in the class. And how many of us do that, have been in a studio class and then go back to do the class because we're in there. So that was just a really fun. It was so lovely that Ali took the time to put that segment together, and to show us, because it really was a fun segment to watch.
Yeah, and I think Ali actually co-hosted one of the hours of today's show that the day that episode came out. So, she's a regular guest contributor, but from time to time, she's actually guest co-hosted one of the hours. And I believe that Monday that they aired that episode, she was one of the guest co-hosts for that hour. So just a little extra of her on the Today Show that time.
Nice.
Well, Peloton instructor Robin Arzon is developing a cookbook, and she teased the news in a recent video with journalist Katie Couric, in which the two prepared a meal together in Katie's kitchen. So in the video, Robin confirms she's in the process of developing her own cookbook. And Robin and Katie, they made a breakfast taco with some tofu and black beans. And just so you know, Robin is vegan, meaning that she doesn't eat any animal byproducts, fully plant-based. So her cookbook is obviously likely to feature entirely vegan recipes for anyone that's interested. And she also recently shared she's re-releasing her first book, Shut Up and Run, How to Get Up and Lace Up, Sweat with Swagger. She announced that recently on Instagram. She said that I originally wrote Shut Up and Run 2016, so it's safe to say a lot has changed since then. This new paperback edition features a fresh cover, some new photos, my favorite playlists, and updated content. She says, in 2016, my mantra was shut up and run. Now my mantra is I'm not done yet, and I'm committed to remaining curious and writing the next chapter. Who's with me? And you can now pre-order this new edition of Shut Up and Run, which will hit shelves on May 7th. people just do not hold back in their meanness for, all this, everyone can be critical of the instructors, but I don't know what it is with Robin that just brings out people just to be nasty. Anytime, Pelo Buddy posts about her. So it's very unlike Peloton community like. So just want to throw that out there. The instructors, they're real people. Like they see people's postings on the official Peloton member page. I'm sure Robin reads a lot of those comments on the Pelo Buddy posts. It just it's just not necessary. It just kind of, it just sort of bummed me out seeing everybody pile up on her on that recent post that Chris made. So come on, we're better than that. So I just want to just throw that out there. I'll get off my soapbox as I mentioned the next Robin appearance. If you want to hear Robin, if you want to get a little more of her, she was on a recent podcast on the Rethinking with Adam Grant. And in that conversation, she talked about how she fell in love with running hood in adulthood, her radical career pivot. In case you didn't know, she did used to be a lawyer to being an fitness instructor. They discuss what hustle culture gets wrong, why motivation may be less important than momentum, and how to create a consistent practice in the gym and beyond that. So that's on all podcast platforms if you want to check it out.
I will actually add, firstly, John, I appreciate you saying that. And I think, you know what, you surprise me every now and again. So that was very welcomed. I will say, though, that there was something on the official page or on one of the pages where somebody was asking, they were new to the bike, and they were saying, if I had to pick a live class between Robin and Cody, who would I pick? And I have to tell you, there were actually some very nice comments. And people were very much encouraging folks. They said, if you want something fun and silly and, whatever, go for Cody. And if you want motivational and whatever, go for Robin. And I was actually quite surprised as to how positive that particular post was with people. It was a lot more people were telling her, this particular person that was asking, to ride with Robin than to ride with Cody. Just from I wanted to add that in there because I did notice it every now and again. I'll peek in there and see what people are saying. So just, there are some nice people out there too. So I did want to just add that in there. Yeah. All right. Well, the lovely Christine Dirkley will be doing an IG live on Tuesday, the 27th at 1 p.m. Eastern time with non-for-profit organization With All. A group that works to prevent eating disorders, supports those in recovery, and inspires the well-being from diet culture. The Instagram Live is titled Crafting Powerful Self-Talk, and the description reads, an hour conversation on the harms of negative self-talk and practical ways to protect our kids' positive body image to prevent eating disorders. Christine will be joined with, the With All founder. It's kind of a hard name to say. The With All founder, Kitty Weston, and executive director, Lisa Radzak, in this very important conversation. So I think something that I admire Christine in, just being so open and positive about self-image and one thing I will say, and I'm going to go a little bit off a tangent of key here, but one thing I will say is that's what I love about Peloton, is that it has brought folks to the platform that probably would never have worked out before. And with members, with instructors like Christine, with Ash, who, just give you a different perspective in that you don't have to be skinny and, and fit and, filled with muscle to be somebody that could get on the bike or on the tread. It is amazing to see the multitude of body types that come into the studio that we see, posting on Instagram. And I have to say, it's fantastic. I mean, I just know from my own personal experience, I have always struggled with my weight. It's always been something that has been so hard for me. And I'm so much more tolerant of knowing that I'm getting fit and healthy rather than just being focused on that body image. And it's skinny, a work in progress. Yeah. I mean, I'm in my 50s and I'm still dealing with it, and I'm seeing it now in my girls, one of my daughters said to me the other day, "Oh gosh, Mom, I'm gaining weight," and I'm like, "Hey, just go work out. Just go. Don't worry about doing it for how how you look. Rather do it for how you feel." She was like, "Oh, I got to go work out. And I love that these instructors are continuing to promote exercise from a fitness perspective and not necessarily from a body image perspective. So I just huge kudos to someone like Christine and Tunde. She's not Tunde, but Tunde too. Tunde was somebody that was also overweight, and she turned that into something that was just such a positive way of looking at your body self-image. So huge shout out. And I said Tunde because Tunde's next. She will be joining Capital One on Wednesday the 28th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Herald Square Cafe in New York, together with Hannah Williams from Salary Transparent Street, I guess must be the name of her, where she works, in an open conversation titled Money Talks, and it's about salary transparency. The event will explore how embracing open conversations about money can transform one's relationship with it. According to the description, there will be light bites and refreshments will be provided. The doors will open promptly at 6, and space is limited, so folks are encouraged to reserve their spot. And then obviously once you get there, it'll be on a first come, first serve basis to get in and where your spot will be. But at time of recording, it was still available. And in fact, I actually did sign Kayla, who's in New York, up for it, so hopefully she'll go and she'll be able to come and tell us a little bit about it, and I can share next week. But I think that was a great, something great that they're doing. So yeah.
Cool. And Chelsea Jackson Roberts, she is going to be the voice. It's going on. It's ending on today, Sunday the 25th. But she recently posted that she is voicing a little pop-up store, a retail pop-up store in New York City. She said she's incredibly honored to be the voice of Sol de Janeiro NYC pop-up happening now through 225. Stop by and listen to my voice as I guide you through the ultimate sensory experience with the latest Delicia Drench Body Butter and Cheirosa 59 perfume mist. So I don't know if you're just going to hear her voice as just on speakers as they're selling these different products, but the Sol de Janeiro, it's like different lotions, beauty products that they sell. I was thinking maybe they're going to be hearing her meditations or something, but if you have a chance, if you're in New York City, it's been going on through this weekend.
Nice. And then Kelly Gallingson posted on her Instagram that she wasn't keen on having a baby shower. She said she didn't really want all the attention on her. So she decided to host her own little party before her and Chris become parents. It was a very casual Mexican taco-themed gathering where she said there would be no games and no opening of presents, just spending time with friends and family before their baby boy arrives. The party looked really cute. It's a boy. I think
okay.
I don't know if they did a gender reveal before, but we knew it was a boy. No, did they do a gender reveal, Chris? Do you remember if they did anything?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either. But they do know that it's a boy. They do know that it's a little boy. It looked really cute. She posted stuff on her Instagram with some, cute Mexican themed cookies that she had. And it was obviously all taco and margarita. I'm sure they were virgin margaritas for Callie. Some of the team that we saw that were there were Kendall, Allie, Katie Wong, Bex, Hannah Corbin, and Jess Malone. They were all there. And then just to kind of wrap up and structure in the news, of course, I have to talk about this past Tuesday night and the Peloton store in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, which is in the DMV area, for those that are not familiar, hosted Rebecca and Jess King for a really, really fun games night. So it was a quick sell. Those folks, we had to jump on really quick to get tickets to it. But they basically did, the two of them came out. They were just all dressed sparkly in their denim and sparkles, but they're so cute together. They're actually hysterical together. I mean, those of you that follow know that they are very close friends and very much in each other's lives. So it was really sweet to have them, both there together. They had us play an initial game. We all got a paddle. I should have actually brought mine so I could have shown you guys today, but it's upstairs. But they had with Jess's face on one side and Rebecca's on the other, and they had physically signed each paddle. They made it very clear that they had done that. And they asked a question and you had to guess whether it was Jess or whether it was Rebecca, which was kind of fun, which was definitely kind of fun to see. Questions about them. I think there were 20 questions. And then they had bingo, where everybody got a bingo card and, they asked questions about all different instructors, and obviously not every instructor was on every card. I did not win, but I think they had 3 rounds, and there were some nice winners, and they handed everybody their, staple gift bag that they give to everybody, which is the heart rate monitor, the water bottle, and the resistance bands that they try to get away. I thought they were guides actually, because it was quite a big box, and I was like, wow, everybody's getting guides, but they were quite that generous. And then obviously they did, pictures with everybody. They had a DJ, DJ Alex, it was, oh gosh, now as I'm saying it, was it Alex? I think so. Bear with me 1 second and I'll tell you. She was really good. And the music was fun. Yep. Alex Love. And the music was fun. Unfortunately though, they had it on really loud when we all came in. So the first hour you had the opportunity to buy apparel with a 15% discount. It was really, really loud. So it was hard for folks to chat to one another, and people were meeting each other for the first time or seeing folks. And I did put that in they asked in the survey that came out afterwards, that was probably one of the things that I would tell them, yes, while it was fun to have somebody there, and obviously for the actual thing, they needed the music and it was fun, they should have probably just had it lowered because it was hard to communicate with one another.
You didn't want to be that one member that went,
no, I didn't. Somebody did, and somebody apparently did ask to turn it down. I wasn't that member. No, I'm not that stuff. But it was really fun. And then, I hung around at the end and I was chatting to both Jess and Rebecca, and I told them we need a 2-for-1 EDM hike. The two of them need to do. And they kind of liked that idea. So if you see that, you're going to know that it was because of me. That's why they're doing it. But it was a really fun, really, really fun evening. And it was lovely to get to see some old faces, meet some new faces. Our friend David Miller was there, and got to meet some new faces that watched the show. So that was fun. But yeah, a really fun evening.
Nice. Sounds cool.
All right. And I guess we'll go into
Picks of the week.
Picks of the week. All right. We've got me starting. So I will put on the glasses so I can see. All right. First up in this week's Picks of the Week comes to us from none other than Amateur 3. What would we do without you, without your Picks of the Week? There are few this week just because we didn't have much on the live schedule. But the first one is Bradley Rose's 30-minute Green Day ride. This was back from the 15th of February. And Amateur 3 said, epic ride, great playlist from Bradley. And then we had Kristen McGee's 20-minute Pilates. This one was from the 16th of February and came to us from Jackie74R. They said, love these classes with props. This one had the magic circle again.
All right. Switching over to the Tread, Maddie Majacomo's 60-minute power walk from the 17th. We got this from Jenny Laika1. She said, great to have a longer walk with Maddie. And then Robin's 45-minute Your Day One ride, for also from the 17th. We got this from EJ Gardiner. They said, very inspiring.
Awesome. And then Benny Adami. We haven't seen Benny on here. So yeah, he had a 30-minute low impact ride, which was in English from the 17th. This one came to us from Amajar 3, and they said such a fun, happy playlist. And then Kendall Toole had a 30-minute intervals ride from the 18th. This one was recommended to us by Steph L. And she said, great party to start the morning off with.
And Jen Sherman's up next, her 45-minute My Mixtape ride from Sunday, February 18th. We got this from Rachel Spins 24. She said she tried to kill us so hard, but so good. This one was fun because the theme of this mixtape was F off, F you sort of attitude. You know, like anybody who, I don't know, if you get a hard time at work or at home. So it's just those kinds of songs that were in there. So I know a lot of people were raving about it. I posted a clip about it the other day on my Instagram reels where she says to F off to the people that hate on her because she loves to sing on the bike. And she does get a lot of criticism, but that's one of the things I love about Jen Sherman. A lot of people love that about her. So at one point she said F off to the haters because everyone was singing with her in the ride in the studio. All right. Charlotte Wiedenbach's 30-minute Power Zone endurance ride, which was in English from February 18th. We got this from Rachie and Nina. They said, amazing playlist on Charlotte's ride. Her energy, her nerding out about why we do PZ. Loved every second. I took it twice in one day. LOL.
Oh my goodness. That's hysterical. All right. And then our trusty friend Annie, Bertha C. Runs MD, recommended Logan Aldridge's 20-minute country hit cardio. This one was from the 18th of February. Annie said, I'm away from all my equipment on vacation at an Airbnb and so grateful for these HIIT cardio classes that pack a total punch and tons of sweat with no equipment or weights necessary. I had a 4x6 space to work out and was able to do all of this and was drenched at the end. Love Logan and his can-do attitude. After all, it's just a HIIT class. And then Hannah Corbin's 10-minute bar. This was a glutes bar class from the 19th. This one also came to us from Bertha C. Runs MD, as well as Amajar 3, Amy MS Chalk, and Vermont Mama 136. They said, I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but I am still continuously surprised at how a 10-minute class can kill me. Perfect spicy finisher or activation class for anything.
And rounding out the picks of the week, Dennis's 30-minute groove ride from February 20th. I heard a lot of good buzz about this ride. I Am Rachel, Fire, and Just Dance Lisa submitted us this one. They said, best class ever, just a great party, so awesome. And then Hannah Frankson's 45-minute Power Zone Endurance EDM ride from the 21st. Dippin'.22 and Eric Rides PPC submitted this. They said, great playlist, good variety on a Power Zone ride, and dropping gems and great tunes.
Awesome. And I guess that rounds it up for us, folks. So, there was a lot we actually had to get through today, interestingly enough. So we never cease to amaze ourselves as to how much news there is out there. There's always something. All right. Well, I guess we will wrap it up. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, whether it be to see us on YouTube or just to listen to us on the go. We are so appreciative that you take the time to listen and spend an hour or so with us. So thank you so much. And from me here in cold Maryland, see you all next week.
From me here in Atlanta, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Yep. And from me here in Michigan, appreciate you tuning in, watching, listening. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.